Hi, this is Dr. Ralston, and this is going to be just a very quick run through of the Blackboard site, just so you know where things are. All right, so I'm already in the site right now. The first thing you see when you come into my site is the course home, and you're probably familiar with these, but let me just point out a few things. You know, the announcements obviously will show up there. You can set in the What's New area here, you can set notifications so that you get emails and whatnot. It'll take you into this screen. I've got a few classes here, so you just click on the class you want to have, and you can, it's all defaults to that everything, all these things, when anything changes will go show up on your Blackboard dashboard. But if you want it to email you, you can click here. So if you know if you want to know when a new assignment becomes available, you can and you want it to email you, you can click that. Also, it'll text you if you put in your cell phone number, and then just all kinds of stuff there. So you can do that and just click submit. All right, so that's how you do that. I have to go back. Unfortunately, it kicks you all the way back out to your Blackboard home and takes a couple seconds, of course, to load, which today, of course, it's taking longer. But by using that notification for what's new, that will really help you stay on top of the class, because every time I post anything, an announcement, well, you get the email for announcements anyway, but a new module becomes available, you know, an assignment gets posted, whatever, you'll have that news. On your My Calendar section, I will be putting on the calendar, the course calendar, the days of the modules open. I won't probably put anything else on the calendar because it gets too junky right in here. But so it'll only be an hour. It'll show an hour, but that's just basically because I had to put some time limit in there. But it just means that it's open. And once a module is open and available, it will always be available. The To-Do section is a lot like the What's New. You can set your notifications so that when things are about to come up due or what they're past due, that you can get that information and it'll show up right here. The biggest thing I want you to do is pay attention to the announcements. I tend to send out quite a few announcements, but they're usually, I mean, they always are very important, and you are going to want to know what I'm saying in them. They're usually to help you, okay? The next part is the down here, so we'll go through the kind of the menu here. If you want to read about me, go there. Syllabus is right here. It's just a PDF, but you should go and download it and read it thoroughly. I'm not going to cover it in the class, but it is your responsibility to know what's in there. There are university policies, there's grading policies, and stuff like that. So you need to go look at that. The schedule, you can either download it, or there's a digital version here. It does tend to change. I will write a note when the last version is posted, and I actually leave the previous one so you know how many times I've changed it frequently, things change. But again, it's your responsibility to make sure you have the latest schedule, that you know what's going on. And also if you see a date that doesn't jive, between this schedule and what you see in an assignment due date, just let me know, because that's honestly the hardest part about teaching online is the dates get so messed up. So won't hurt my feelings, please just let me know, because then I can fix it for everybody. All right. So now let's get down to the course materials. So this section here is all kind of the course materials. When you first get in, you will not see Module 1. You just start here. So that's what I want you to do. Click on that. And this is kind of laid out like a module. What you're going to see is, first I give you kind of a little blurb about what the week is going to be like. And then you get a task list. like this. Okay, so it'll tell you what you need to do for the week. For this one, it says watch the course tour, which is actually what you're doing right now. I talk about the software you're going to need and where you can get it, and you can see I roll over this. It's actually a link. Alright, so you go there, you can read about, there's a bunch of different ways that you can get or use the software. You are going to have to create a WordPress site for this class. I know that's kind of weird, it's not a web class, but I do it for a couple of reasons, and you can read that here, but basically it makes my life much easier because it's just very hard to download and go through file after file after file when I'm creating your stuff. It's much easier for you to put it up on a WordPress site, and then I can go see it, and then if I have any questions, I can ask you for the files. But also, the other reason I do it is because it kind of is like a propagating portfolio for you, a digital portfolio, so that you can either just dump when we're over at the class or keep it. I actually use WordPress sites in my other classes now, so it's not a bad idea just to hang on to it, and you can reuse it as you want to, or you can use it and reform it as your digital portfolio or whatever. And if you haven't built a WordPress site and you're like, oh, I'm not a web person, don't worry. It is super easy. I have a handout. You can see the links right here. It will take you through the process step by step, okay? So that's that. And then the last thing, let me scoot this up a little bit, is you might find in a module is the assignment. And when you see an assignment, you'll see this little link with the page, and if you roll over you can see it's underlined, and if you click it, it'll take you to the assignment instructions. If you need to submit something, this will pop up right down here, and you can just type in it whatever you need to do. Like for this first one, you have to send me your WordPress website URL so that I know where to find it, okay? And then you would just click submit. So that's how you do that. So let's go on to module 1, which you won't be able to see yet, but I just wanted to kind of show you. It looks very much the same. I talk about what we're going to learn. I talk about what your tasks are for the week. You will have a reading assignment every week, or pretty much, I think, every week. Now the book is, I think I talked about this in my intro, but I'm going to talk about it again just in case I didn't. The book is divided into, actually it's 4 sections. I say 3 sections here. This kind of says what I'm going to say right now. There's an InDesign section, a Photoshop section, and an Illustrator section. There's actually a little tiny section at the end which is kind of about how to use them all together. We're not going to do that. We're not going to cover the InDesign section, but we are going to use the Photoshop and Illustrator section. So when you see in the reading assignments, P, that's for Photoshop. So that's in the Photoshop section. So you want to read the chapter 1 in the Photoshop section, pages 16 through 29, okay? And when we get to the Illustrator section, that will be an I instead of a P. Pretty easy, right? And then there will be a lecture. So you just click the link, it pops open, it's a flash lecture. I'm working on, I'll either put video versions on YouTube for people who want to watch it on their iPads. I'm also experimenting with some other options for iPads that are non-flash. So, but that'll be available for you very soon. And then I'm not really sure what that guy is down there. Anyway, oh yeah, you'll have a lab, and the lab's not available yet. For this, actually for this one you have a quiz. Oh, that's what I need to tell you. Yes, so you have a quiz for this one. You're not going to have many quizzes. I think there's only 1 or 2. There's a couple of exams. I'll talk about that in a second. Basically, you only have, they will not be available the whole week of whatever module they're in. So for the quizzes, I will have them open at on Sundays of the week, and then they close on Wednesday at 11:59 because I have the modules starting on Thursday. So the modules run from Thursday at 7 a.m. to Wednesday at 11:59 p.m., which is basically midnight. After that, they disappear and you will not be able to see them. That's why you don't see anything down here yet, because it hasn't opened up yet. Okay? Alrighty. So let's move on. There's this thing here called help videos. I have a whole bunch of videos that I have recorded. These are actually all up on my YouTube channel, which is very wittily called Dr. Ralston Tube. Um, these are all of the Photoshop and Illustrator ones that I've done so far. I plan on adding to this, but if you need to know how to do a particular thing, these are very short, 2 minutes. This one's kind of longer, but most of them are like 2-3 minutes. Some of them are 5-7 minutes, but they're all pretty short, and they kind of show you how to do sort of one thing, basically, so you don't have to sit through a long video. And I'll be adding to those. If you want to go directly to an assignment or a lab or a quiz, you can click this link. It will take you here. You will not be able to see anything until the particular things have been assigned. So you'll be able to see the first assignment because it's assigned now, but you won't be able to see any like the quizzes or anything else because I haven't assigned those. They haven't come up yet. Okay. And then finally, discussions. We're not actually going to have any discussions, I don't think, in the class between us, but what I have here is 3 different forums for you to post questions in. I'd rather you don't email me questions that you think that are about the class, because if you have the question, somebody else might also have the same question, and this makes it easy for me. I don't have to answer the question once, but also makes it helpful for everybody else because they can go on here before they ask a question and see if it's already been asked and answered. So if you have a general question, you can post here. If you have questions about Photoshop or raster images, you can post here, and the same with Illustrator vector images. I have a notification set on this, so anytime anybody posts in any of these, I get an email. So I can go, as soon as I get that email, if I have time right then, I just go and I address the question. All right. I like to do that and kind of get it out of the way. Sometimes I don't get to them right away, but I do get the notifications, so I do know they're there. And then I am using Blackboard to do the grades, so you can use my grades to keep track of things, and then the tools are just the regular Blackboard tools. Going back to the schedule, I just want to kind of run down it fast, quickly. Here's the whole schedule. Talks about the things we're going to do and the different assignments. Mostly you'll have a lab out of the book. I do have 2 levels on the labs, not all of them, but some of the labs. I have a level for beginners, and then I have an option for people who are maybe have already used one or both of the applications before. So you do have an option for some of them, not for all of them. And then everybody will be doing 3 projects: a compositing project, something I call Show Me the Skills, which is just a fun way to show me that you learned what you were supposed to learn. And then you get to do, I'm not even going to tell you what this is, but it's a really fun assignment. And then finally you have a big final project, which I'm also not going to tell you about yet. Okay, so that's pretty much how to get around in the course.